He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This One's Wife. Yachting Days, Resurface. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. There are many rumours that circulate in respect of This One's Wife. Often it's the case that a suggestion was made somewhere on the internet, and then it's taken up by somebody else. It gets reported in a YouTube video, it gets shared on X, it's shown on Facebook, and it gets repeated so often that people end up believing that it is true. Nobody actually looks for the origination of the suggestion, nor even seeks actual evidence to support the suggestion. It just becomes fact by virtue of repetition. This One's Wife isn't the only person that suffers from that particular human behaviour. Of the many rumours that circulate in relation to This One's Wife, one of the most salacious is that she once earned a living as a yacht girl. This is the situation whereby young women engage in the provision of pleasure services, for want of a better description, to rich men aboard yachts, whereby they earn a living and the men gain some pleasure. This rumour has followed This One's Wife for many years. There are instances of people claiming that pictures of This One's Wife with an array of other women on a boat demonstrates that she was a yacht girl. There's also the case that she was seen photographed with a former girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, which supports the possibility that she was engaged in such activity, according to those that have posted it. There has been the suggestion that she was involved in yachting as a yacht girl as a consequence of a post on what was Twitter asking her if she was available to attend on a yacht for a period of time. There's also been disclosures by people who claim to have worked in that environment and that they saw her on the yachts being engaged as a pleasure appliance. There hasn't been any direct confirmation or evidence to support these allegations, but tidbits that rear their head from time to time to suggest that this is something that she would do. Now, as I've explained previously, given the fact that she is a somatic narcissist, this, whilst not confirming that this is something that she would engage in, it certainly increases the likelihood, because her narcissism causes her to believe that she's hugely sexually attractive. It causes her to think that women are envious of her, they want to be her, and that all men want to play hide the sausage with her and knock her hip out. She also utilizes the provision of sex as a major method of seduction. This is no surprise when it comes to the somatic narcissist. That is what most somatic narcissists do. By providing lots of and lashings of spicy poontang, this enables the narcissist to assert control, draw fuel, and gain access to residual benefits. Thus, lacking boundaries, having no sense of accountability, operating with a sense of entitlement, operating through the delusion of being simply irresistible, craving the financial benefit that comes by virtue of the residual benefit of money, the stage is set, particularly for a somatic narcissist to engage in such behavior. And we have, once again, the suggestion that evidence has surfaced supporting what This One's Wife has been up to in her past. The image, which you see on your screen, shows a woman, purportedly This One's Wife, wearing a black bikini as she stood next to a rather rotund older white man. This image was circulated a couple of days ago on X by somebody called Susie and had the accompanying caption, Meghan Markle, Yachting Days. As at the time of me creating this video, 200,000 views had been accrued in relation to this. It was then circulated again by someone called CCT. CCT accompanied it with the caption, Grok, which is X's AI vehicle, Grok verified this is authentic photo of Meghan Markle in 2013. Here you see her looking eager to please, flashing her old denture and an old white man, her favourite flavour, and it looks like she's following the man perhaps to his cabin for some tossed salad. Accordingly, we first of all have the picture, and then we have somebody claiming that it's been verified by Grok that is an authentic photograph. We're not told who's taken it. We're told it comes from 2013. We're not told why it surfaced now. We're not told why it has surfaced now, but it has. Interestingly, somebody called Susie, who originally had posted it, claimed, however, Grok replied to me and said it's a made-up and fabricated picture, but I see the authenticity of it. They sure are going into the cabin together for her favourite bee job, which seems a rather strange response to suggest that's what they're going to do if the picture has been confirmed by Grok as fabricated. The original poster CCT replies, I see that too, but a picture paints 1,000 words, and for a D-list actress to be on a yacht with fat white man confirms the rumours. No, not if it's made up. Now, as you know, I'm no defender of this one's wife, but I am somebody who's interested in evidence. Somebody that wants to get the actual evidence in order to make a determination as to what has actually gone on. A couple of other people comment, has Uncle Andrew still not explained to Harry what a yacht girl is? And you can bet flowers had already been sprinkled on the bed berth. Somebody else suggests that's Ted Kennedy, who died in 2009. I'm sure this didn't happen. No fan of megaflops, but there's enough real bad stuff without the nonsense. Thus, the suggestion that it's this one's wife, you only have to look at the face, which tends to support it probably isn't, as it does look AI generated. But a further analysis of this picture tells us, by virtue of the noise map, there is an unnatural pattern of high-frequency noise, especially around the woman's face, hair, and torso. This type of noise pattern is commonly associated with AI-generated textures or composite image artifacts. With regard to the colour variance map, the colour shading is inconsistent, particularly on the woman's arm, torso, and the background rail. These areas show abrupt changes in hue and brightness, not typical of natural light transitions. It's a common sign of digital blending or synthetic rendering. These results strongly reinforce that the image is not a standard unedited photo. It is likely an AI-generated image or a composited photo where one or more figures have been inserted or altered. All forensic signs point to this being an AI-generated or heavily manipulated image, and it is not authentic nor an untouched photo. Quelle surprise. Now, whilst there will be people that generate AI images of this one's wife, they will invariably make it clear that that's what you can see, or it's so obvious, for example, where I've utilised AI to put her face on a red pepper, you know that it's AI. But as I've explained previously, engaging in this behaviour of suggesting that it is an authentic photograph, for instance, accompanying with the caption, Meghan Markle yachting days, and for somebody else to say, Grok verified this is authentic photo of this one's wife in 2013, is problematic. First of all, there are still far too many people that will accept information such as this at face value, and they do not apply critical thinking. Secondly, it plays into the hands of this one's wife. She has a rampant victim mentality by virtue of being a narcissist. Much of that is generated as a consequence of her skewed perspective of the world, whereby if something doesn't accord with her need for control and the provision of fuel, it means that person is automatically a problem and they are being horrible to her. Often, that mindset is not demonstrative of the shared reality of everybody else. Indeed, she is the provocateur. She is the protagonist. She is not the victim, which is typical of the behaviour of many narcissists. But where people generate material such as this, they are able to then reinforce her victim mentality, because all she can do is turn around and state, see, once again, somebody has made something up about me. They've created this image of me on a yacht with a rotund white man suggesting that I'm providing him with sexual favors. This is simply not true. And an appropriate analysis of the photograph, even perhaps just casting your eye over it, will tell you, yeah, that's not a genuine photograph. Therefore, she is to be believed. And you're giving her an easy strike on goal. You're giving her a home run. The problem is that she, as a narcissist, will utilize the truth of this behavior to reinforce her own victim mentality, and then utilize it to strike down those that uncover the actuality of her poor behaviors. It is far too tempting for a narcissist to use this material to shut other people down. Look at all of these things, which are clear nonsense about me. And a third-party arbiter, whether it might be a court, somebody at YouTube, somebody at X, some kind of moderator, would go, yeah, I can see that's nonsense. And then all she needs to do is keep reinforcing that with another example, with another example, with another example, and then she turns to somebody who has uncovered something unsavory about her correctly and truthfully. And having built up a head of steam by suggesting, look at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and so on, which are all clearly erroneous, when we get to L, that's erroneous too. And that decision maker is likely to agree because of consistency of what they have been shown and the fact that there is this body of evidence generated by people making things up about her, which then supports her general victim mentality. And all they are doing is making it easier for this one's wife to discredit and shut down those that uncover unsavory things about her, and there are unsavory things about her which have been uncovered, and it makes it easier for her to silence people. Whilst one can speculate about the things about this one's wife, and anybody's free to express an opinion, it's important to demonstrate that it is simple observation, speculation, perhaps sometimes based upon expertise in relation to, well, this type of person is most likely to behave this way, based upon previous behaviors, based upon my understanding of the situation, all of that. But it makes it clear that it's speculation. Some speculation is entirely preposterous and ought to be dispensed with. Others does have weight behind it because it's based on some evidence and the application of expertise. But where things are being made up about this one's wife, all it does is give her the greater opportunity to shut people up and silence them. And it is important to identify this and highlight it. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.